Hello everybody. I just want to do a really fast video on the stats and how they looked for the month of May. It is now June 8th. I'm a little behind my time here, so I apologize. But let's have a quick look at this. I have good news. It would appear that the real estate market is not taking the hit from COVID that we thought it would. There's definitely been, a downward pull, but it's not nearly as bad as what we were first thinking. So I'm looking at this bottom line here for May 2020. The number of sales is 70. And if we look at March of this year, it was 67, then it dropped to 40. So March was really not an indication because most things did not shut down until well into the middle of March, and we would not have seen the reaction in March. So pretty much March stats would have been unaffected by COVID or only slightly. April would have taken the full-on force of COVID, and so would May. So, and actually May has a partial coming back, opening up influence as well. So because about the last week of May, things were starting to open up. They were in phase one. So if we can see the market from January of this year starting to ramp up to the spring market, from 40 sales to 56 sales to 67. So we were pretty much on target. Then COVID hit and we dropped to 40. But look at where we are. We are up to 70. Now, typically, if you look back here to January of the year before, 52, only marginal increase to 54, jumped to 65, but then in April jumped way up. So it did the biggest jump right here because you can see the next 2 months are only marginal difference. So this is where we did the big jump up to 100 into the early 100s. Now we're not there, but we're certainly improved. We almost doubled the number of sales from April till May. So let's look at the number of new listings. It jumped from 91 in April to 156 in May. I mean, that's really good improvement. Let's look at April and May of last year. So it was 190 to 208. So we're definitely down, especially April. If we look at the absorption, so we almost doubled the absorption. We are actually a 15% absorption is actually a balanced market. And balanced market meaning, there's properties are selling. They're not sitting stagnant with no interest, but there's enough of them on the market that buyers have choices. So that's kind of a balanced market. Both buyers and sellers are happy. So we have moved from 9.8 to 15. That's really good. And if we look at, sorry, I pushed a button there. If we look at April to May of last year, we went from 22 to 20. So we're still below, but I'm certainly happy with this. In April, we had days on market, how long it took to sell a house, from 105 days, from 69 days in March to 105, and we're back down to 57. Let's look at the year before. March was 77, dropped to 57, dropped to 49. So 49 in May of last year and 57. That's not bad, folks. That's not bad. And so if we look at the median price, it actually went up. 481,500 to 482, went up $1,000. And if you've been following my stats videos, the price is the last thing to be affected. So if we see a downward push in price, we're probably going to see it June, July, maybe not even till July, August will we see it. It is the very last stat to change. So if we go back here to April, 503. Now, I don't know what this stat is here. 589, that's a huge jump. And then when you look at the following month, it goes down to 464 and then back up to 586, back down to 485. So I don't know what these are doing here. There's got to be some things in there that are skewing, because This is the kind of thing that we normally see: 442, 462, 455, 463, within a ten to $15,000 variant, either the trend going up or the trend going down. But this jumped $86,000 in 1 month, and then it dropped to, over $100,000. So I'm not, and then it went back up again here. So I'm not really sure what's going on with these stats. But if we look at this 512, 481, 482, we're actually pretty consistent right in here. So I believe the good news is COVID may not have the, sort of destitute effect that we were thinking it was going to have on the real estate market. I think there's going to be a bigger downward push on the economy than on the real estate market. I know I am very busy. I have got lots of buyers that said, we're just putting it on hold. We're going to wait and see. They're now saying, nah, let's just get out and buy a house. We want to buy a house, and the prices don't seem to be affected. And we need to be in that new house and get ourselves moved before the new school year in September starts. So we need to be out looking. And my listings are getting showings. We're getting, in fact, I had a multiple offer on one and we ended up with an offer and a backup offer in place. And I'm hearing that from lots of realtors. Like, we're busy. The slow down, the sit at home and bake bread time is over. So this is good news, folks. I still think we're going to need to actively watch the stats for another 3, 4, 5 months to see what's going to happen. And of course, looking at the whole year, at the end of the year, will be very interesting to see, the whole March, April, May, June COVID effect, and then see what happens over the summer, and then see what happens into the fall. So I hope you found this beneficial. As always, if you need information about your house or real estate in general, I'm a phone call or an email away. No pressure, no obligation. Lots of times my buyers and sellers need information. They're not ready to buy or to sell, but they need information. They need to massage this through another few months, maybe even a few years before they're ready to move. But don't feel, oh, I don't want to phone her. She thinks she'll start pressuring me to buy or sell. I'm not that kind of salesperson. I'm happy to supply you with information, set up an automatic search for you, or whatever it is you need. Take care, folks, and I'll see you next month.